Hey guys, it's Smudge here. Just before this video begins on how to use the Mavericks, I wanted to quickly talk about the keys that we need to use in order to employ the Mavericks. Now the main keys that we use are the TDC up, down, left, right and action, which are used to move the DMT and Maverick seeker heads about. You've got the sensor forward, aft, left, right and down, which are used to manage the screens and switch between the modes. You've got the cage uncage key, which is used to uncage the Maverick seeker head, and the nose wheel steering key, which you use to recenter the DMT when you're in the air. So we'll let the video start now, and hopefully you guys pick something up and learn something from this. So I'll say thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, it's Smudge here, and we're back in the Harrier. In this kind of tutorial lesson video thing, we're going to be having a look at implementing Mavericks. Now we've got a couple of AGM65Ds on the wings, which are the infrared guided Mavericks. There are several different types of Mavericks in this, but they generally all operate the same way. So I'll just quickly go through how to set up these Mavericks and get them working. So the first thing that you want to do on your left MFD is go to your stores page, which is STRS. So you can just see that there, STRS, we'll bring it up. Now normally you'd see on the middle button here IRMV, which is for the infrared Maverick. You can see them on the pylons here, but normally you get a push button to select up here. But because I've got rockets on at the moment, with this being early access, possibly a bug, you can't actually select them on the panel here. But what we can do is select them off the weapons panel down here. So if we select weapons 2 and 6, as you can see, that does select the IMRV. I'm just actually kind of playing about with my tracker here, sorry about this. Right, but what we want to pay attention to here is that the Mavericks are now selected, so we've got IRMV on the HUD. And then down here, once they're selected, it comes up STBY for standby. Now it takes 3 minutes. 3 minutes for the Mavericks to warm up or cool down, or for the seeker heads to kind of get ready to work. So what we'll do is that I'll fast forward time now until that comes up being ready, and then we'll continue from there. Okay, so now that our Mavericks are ready, what we're going to do is go ahead and get ready to use the Mavericks. So what we need to do first is kind of find a target. Now the easiest way to find a target when you're flying towards a target area is by using the nose-mounted camera, or DMT. Now to bring that up, what you want to do is hit sensor switch down twice, or aft twice. Sorry, I need to get the difference between down and aft sorted. So the first time that you press sensor switch aft, you bring up an HSI. When you press it again, you get up a TV camera, as you can see like this right here. Now the TV camera slaves to the floating pipper. So generally where the floating pipper is pointing, that's where the camera is pointing. And it's got a tremendous amount of zoom on it. It is a fantastic camera. Now to ground lock it, the best thing to do is to hit TDC in any direction, and then you get a box up like this which ground slaves it to the target. Now I've got some targets down here, some tanks, which we're going to be hitting with our Maverick. So you can move the TDC about like this, and as you see you get a box on the HUD showing it moving about. Now initially it moves quite slowly. If you want it to move faster, press and hold the TDC action key, and then it slews much faster. So if we put this over the first tank that we want to kill, and then kind of have that stabilized on target, because our Mavericks are now ready, what we want to do is hit uncage. Now when we hit uncage, we get the Maverick seeker head come up. If you hit FOV, you can zoom in, and as you can see, we can see the white spot on the target area. Now as I said, at the moment, because we're loaded up with rockets and bombs, we get an SMC error. Don't worry about that. With Mavericks, they still work. Now the launch range for the Maverick is about 7.5 with the AGM65Ds. So with that on there and slaved on target, which is on the DMT, what you want to do is hit sensor switch forward. Okay, in fact, I'm missing a step here. In air to ground mode would help, and master arm on would help as well. Smudge, Christ almighty. So yeah, master arm on, air to ground mode, hit sensor switch forward, and then you get IRMV with a square over it. And then if you hit TDC action, it slews or slaves the Maverick seeker to target, and then you hit pickle to fire, and then your Maverick comes off the rail and then flies towards target. So what I'll do is that I'll reset and I'll go through this one more time, just to kind of show that sequence one more time. Okay guys, so we've reset here. We're currently just over 15 miles from the target area, so I'm going to go ahead and just show that sequence one more time, just so that it's kind of fixed in there. So the first sequence should be really kind of air to ground mode and master arm on. Didn't do that last time, forgot. Sorry about that. As you can see now, we've got the guidance pipper, so we hit sensor switch aft twice. He says brings up the TV screen. Took a couple more presses there, just because of the way it was set up. So we'll find our targets, hit TDC in a direction to bring up the camera, slew it over and find our next victim. So we've got a tank there, so we'll put our DMT TV camera over the target area. We'll then go uncage to bring up the Maverick seeker head. You can press FOV to zoom in or zoom out. As we get up to the target area, we're 10 miles from target here. If you press TDC action at the moment, it won't lock up, but when you get up to about 7.5, if you hit TDC action, you'll see the crosshairs will shrink, and then you'll be able to fire. Just a quick note on this, with the Harrier, it's quite a light aircraft and Mavericks are quite heavy, so if you're firing them individually, it does cause quite a kind of slew on the aircraft. So we've got Maverick selected there with sensor switch up. We'll then slave with TDC action and then rifle. And as you can see, without trimming, the aircraft then immediately starts kind of rolling away from the target that we hit. But if we then go back to the TV, we should be able to see our hit. Any second now. Boom, good kill. Okay, so that's Mavericks in a nutshell. Quite a simple sequence, so make sure that your master arm's on and that you're in air to ground mode. Sensor switch aft twice to bring up the TV. When the TV's not pointing at it, you get this sort of HSI picture. If you see this with the diamond there, it means that the target that the TV's locked to is behind you or not within visual range. If you hit the nose wheel steering key, it then re-slaves the TV camera to the floating pipper, so then you can just kind of like recenter again. So again, we'll just show that kind of in sequence there. As you can see, that it's now ground locked to the side. If I turn away from that, it'll then kind of lose track on the TV. So then we get a diamond on our last locked position. This changed to a HSI. Now if we were to turn back on that position, the TV would come back on ground stabilized on the target that we just hit. But if you just want to recenter that, you hit the nose wheel steering key, and then the TV then reslaves back to the front, which is really quite cool. So we'll leave this one here. The next video is going to be on different bomb releases. So I'll say thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.